What is going on? Welcome back to Dell's Corner. Today we're going to be sitting in the den. Okay? We're at the corner, but we're going to migrate a little bit over to the den. Okay? Because we're going to be sitting down and we're going to be talking with Critical Games. Critical Games on 8-Bit Adventures 2. You see it. It's coming out very soon. I'm going to I'm sorry. I used the wrong word. I'm going to be introducing somebody very special that we've been talking on and off for the past year. Things have been just going swimmingly on his side, and the rest of the team has just been great, being very supportive and everything. We're going to be sitting down with the creator and partner with the others as well of 8-Bit Adventures 2 today. Now, before we get into that video, don't forget to check out all the additional social media down below, along with all the social media from 8-Bit Adventures, okay, from Critical Games. And if you join the Discord and you can use custom emotes, we got Donnie. You see this shit? Look at him. If I could just pet him. Look at him. He's so cute. Anyways, if you guys can use custom emotes in Discord, you guys can pick up Donnie. And you could also pick up Mikey. I got Mikey in there. He's holding a pizza. This time I said, you know what? Let's do a Game Boy. But other than that, we're going to be getting into this little sit down in the den. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be discussing 8-Bit Adventures 2 and what it's all about and when we're going to release it and when you guys are going to be able to see my blind playthrough as well. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. Other than that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff that I don't expect you to do, but at least you could possibly do it. I don't know, but anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's content, and we'll catch you in the next one. All right, guys, before we end up getting with this sit down with Josh from 8-Bit Event from Critical Games, we're gonna watch this trailer. I want y'all to be able to experience the greatness that I've been discussing and that I've been discussing with him for the past year. They have been working on this specific game since 2015. Just to let you know, again, we're going to discuss more on that in the sit down, in the den, but check out this trailer first. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dell's Den or Dell's Corner. All you shellheads out there, as you know, I kind of talked about a couple of things. This game is coming out, and we're going to get into the specific game. But first, I want to introduce the man that we've been discussing off and on about this amazing game. I'll let him introduce the game and himself. Go ahead and take it away, man.
Well, hi, my name's Josh Halloran, and I'm the lead developer on 8-Bit Adventures 2, which is basically our attempt at taking the ideas from classic Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger and stuff like that, and just really making a new game out of those ideas. It's like if the NES was still producing games in 2023, and the technology maybe got a little bit better, but the ideas and concepts sort of stayed the same of like what people liked about games of that era.
Right.
So yeah, it's really just like more than a love letter, I guess. It's more trying to take sort of a lot of the good ideas and modernize them a bit and take them a little step further, make a new game in the old style.
Right, for sure. And I think that's what we really need as far as like for years now I've been saying it. I want to go back to retro. Like I want to go back to retro, but at the same time, I want to stay in modern. It's been kind of hard. It's been kind of hard. When you think of RPG, you immediately think Final Fantasy. That's the biggest one. But I think for me as an individual, I needed to move on, and you guys have created this. I mean, I didn't get into 8-Bit Adventures until the demo. Until the demo came out for the second one. It was great. So it's not just you, clearly. The team is right. The team is small, but
yeah, it's 4 people basically.
Okay. And how did y'all come together and create the idea of 8-Bit Adventures and the company itself, Critical Games?
Well, okay, so we have artist Jaram Fahi, and he's fellow Australian. We've got Sebastian Cruz, who's our composer, and he's in Chile. And then we've also got Sufyan Noor, and he's our programmer in Indonesia. And Sebastian and Jaram, they actually did some work on the first one. Sebastian composed the full soundtrack for the first 8-Bit Adventures, and Jaram did character sprites, because that was all I could afford at the time. And so, when I was thinking about doing a sequel, I saw the response we got on Steam when the first game came out. And so I reached out to them and asked if they'd be interested, and they were very up for it. Jaram was thinking along the lines of like Shovel Knight, and like sort of what we could do to sort of enhance the sort of basic 8-bit aesthetic. And yeah, Sebastian really wanted to try sort of pushing beyond like the base NES limitations and sort of using some of like the Konami sound chips and stuff like that. So yeah, so that sort of spiraled out from there, and because we wanted to make a more complicated game with more unique mechanics, I discovered Sufyan, and yeah, he's handled all the programming for the battle system. That sort of thing. It's really just like finding people on forums and making a connection, and yeah.
I think that's definitely important. I mean, there's plenty of excellent individuals with storytelling ideas, composers, music. I mean, it's great. It's just finding them, as you know. It's that's the challenge.
I've been very fortunate. Finding Jaram was a big step, because I'd written to like I think 20 artists or something like that, some insane number, and he was the only one that actually got back to me, and he was perfect. Like his style, his understanding, he was just the perfect man for the job. So yeah, sometimes you get really lucky.
Well, that's great. I'm definitely happy like that you found that team that's willing to dedicate their time to this game, and it's
I just 7 years, to be clear. Like that's been a long run.
Well, how long in general? Like, I mean, there's a lot of communication back and forth. I mean, how long have you been working on 8-Bit Adventures 2 though?
So I started doing like pre-production stuff in I think it was like June or July of 2015.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah,
it's a long time.
I made another game in the middle. I made a short form game called Tales Across Time in sort of the first half of 2016. Right. But yeah, apart from that, it's basically been a 7-year development, which is not something I'd ever recommend to anyone. But here we are.
Well, RPG is definitely there's a lot of games out there, right? It's an RPG, but it turns out not to be like what your expectations are, right? For me, the 8-Bit Adventures hits all points. Like, how important was it to hit all points as an RPG? It's hard for storytelling, for sure.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, one of the things that I struggled with early on was like, okay, I'm planning out this big story, and then figuring out, okay, well, how big is this game actually going to be? Because it's easy to conceptualize, all this stuff of like, oh yeah, you go to this town and you talk to people there and you have a story event and that sort of thing. Then you go to the next dungeon, and but when you actually have to build it all out, and you're trying to really do it to a high standard, much higher standard than I've ever done before, it was that really contributed to the long development. Was that I'd really designed a story and a concept and a game that was a lot bigger than I realized at first. And so that was part of the learning curve, because I wanted every location to be unique, and not like have a lot of asset reuse or anything like that. I wanted every area to have like a set of at least like 2 or 3 new enemies and stuff like that. And I really wanted the story to be like an ever-present element to the game. I didn't want to sort of have so sometimes in RPGs, like you sort of get weird gaps where it's like, for fast tracking purposes, you just sort of skip over some things. So I tried to sort of not have those feelings. I tried to make everything smooth. I tried to make the game pace really well. And yeah, so I think trying to hit all the different beats was a big challenge, and that contributed a lot to the length of development.
I mean, there are definitely those times for sure, where the gaps where you're just like, okay, it's kind of slowed down. Like, what's going on? Like, I mean, when are we gonna get into the fight again? When are we gonna pick up on? It's almost like it's almost like anime, right? You got that middle filler.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter.
Totally.
But so far, I mean, as we had discussed, so far, even in the demo, there are no gaps. I mean, you guys did such a great job so far. There are no gaps. I'm fully interested in the story the whole time.
Well, thank you so much, man. Because Chrono Trigger was really our inspiration for that.
Okay.
Like Chrono Trigger's pacing is always talked about by developers, because the game just has no filler basically. I mean, there's a little bit in a couple of places, but like generally speaking, it's just always focused on getting to that end goal of the story.
Right.
And there's just so little filler. I mean, you can complete it in 16 to 20 hours.
Okay. Yeah,
so
I remember Chrono Trigger. Yeah. Chrono Trigger is retro.
Oh yeah.
But it's I mean, so far it's like, now what about the characters? I mean, clearly you have 8-bit Adventures 1, but I mean, as far as 2, adding additional characters, I mean, where did the ideas for these characters come from?
Really just, I guess, thinking about what I'd set up in the first game, and just thinking about, okay, well, what's a natural extension of what we've got. And so we've got characters like Charlie, and he appeared briefly in the first game. He was an orphan who was taken care of by our thief character. So there's like a real connection there. He really idolizes her and wants to, be a hero like her and stuff like that. And so that seemed a really natural perspective. There's a robot character, and the original game had a ton of sort of robot NPCs and enemies. So it just seemed like a fun idea to throw in like a robot party member. And his gimmick is really that you can, rather than having like MP or anything like that, he has parts that you equip. And so he can use those parts infinitely, but you can only equip so many of them to him. So he's sort of limited, but also powerful, and so things like that. The main thing that changed is that there were originally going to be 6 party members, and there ended up being 7. But I kept the 7th one a secret the entire time.
Oh, okay.
In terms of the identity, not the number. But...
Right. Of course. Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad that it's expanding on top of all that. It's evolving, so that's great to hear.
Yeah.
Now, the feedback. I've been watching the comments since we first started talking, since the trailers come out. How do you feel about all the comments? There's so much good positivity.
I'm thrilled with it, to be honest, because like I've done things in many years ago where it's like there wasn't positivity, like that people can be pretty unkind, and so just the fact that this game just seems to engender a lot of kindness and support, and like even if someone doesn't like it, they're usually pretty fair and nice about it. So it's been really great to see, just a really nice side of the gaming community, which I think does come out a lot, particularly with indie stuff. People are so kind to support developers trying to make their way, and that extends to you too. I mean, that's the thing, we've been talking for a while, and you've been a great support, man.
Yeah, I mean, I just try to reach out. Like, I mean, we're all people. Sometimes we just need to get that message that says, "Hey, how you doing?" That I'm not wanting anything. I just want you to know that thinking about you, you're doing good. You know what I mean? I hope that you're doing
It's
well.
so much while you're making a game, like especially over like a 7-year sprint. Like, you know, you get in your own bubble. You don't really take
Hmm.
a lot of it in. So like when people reach out, it really does make a difference. It makes you feel great.
Well, that's good. Well, see, everybody. I mean, make a difference. Comment. I mean, message them. See, I mean, you never know. People think all the time, because I mean, I've been in and out of media for a while, and people think all the time that they can't message them because they're a
Yeah, yeah,
developer.
yeah.
Where's my message gonna go? Nobody's gonna respond back. But believe it or not, clearly a lot of indies like yourself, like your indie games, you guys are watching y'all's comments. Y'all's guys are watching y'all's messages.
Yeah. I check constantly. I mean, you know, there's probably some I miss, but generally
Mhm.
speaking, I'm always checking. And like honestly, if you write anything, it just it goes to me anyway, and that's the case for most indie developers. Is that there's we don't have marketing teams or anything like that. So
Mhm.
if you write to someone, it's probably going straight to one of the
Right.
people working on the game.
Right, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Going back to like the gameplay. Now clearly RPG, we're familiar with this, but as far as hours, there's a lot of people that are like, "Hey, how many hours are going to have to put into this?" What are we
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
at regular runtime, and if there's additional quests, how many hours with all the additional quests? So 100% complete.
So 100% can run you probably up to 40 hours.
Ooh, that's a good time.
Normal, like just going through the story, you could do that in probably 25 to 30, but it
Okay.
really depends on what you do, how experienced in the genre you are, what's kind
Right.
of setbacks you run into, how much like character building and stuff like that you get involved in.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to like judge, but generally speaking, I say between 30 and 40 for most people, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But
Now,
you can do it faster if you really want
right,
to.
right. I mean, those
Yeah,
speedrunners, right? They're super fast. I don't know how they do that. I
yeah,
couldn't.
yeah,
I
yeah.
could have never gotten into it. But
I've tried sometimes, but never been good enough.
now, I mean, I also like to make sure to get feedback from the creators themselves on how you're feeling on your project. Like, how do you feel now that it's coming out? You're going to be able to breathe a little bit more once it's released, but then it's waiting for those
Yeah.
reviews. But how are you feeling?
I mean, I feel like I mean, I feel really proud of the team that I've worked with. I am very grateful to so many different people for so many different reasons. I think that we've made the game that I set out to make, and that feels really good. Like it is absolutely the kind of game that I would want to play.
Hmm.
And I guess that's really the most I can say. It's like it really just the fear just comes in about, well, what do other people think? What will other
Right,
people think? Will they still have that same? Will they get the same feeling that I do, or will it
right.
not hit the same notes? And I'm sure that'll vary between people, but that's really up to everyone else to tell me. So really, the apprehension just comes from like, okay, well, I think I've done a good job. I think my team's done a great job. What will other people think? And
Right.
yeah, so nervous,
I,
but hopeful.
I
Proud
think
of
yeah,
what we've done.
I think that you guys are going to do amazing. I think you guys are going to get a lot of feedback. Again, I've already gotten a couple hours in. I love the music. I love the graphics. I love the way that it looks. It definitely brings back that old school retro vibe. I'm
Oh, thank you,
really
man. I
excited
appreciate
for
it.
this. I'm really excited. I mean, I've been telling all my friends. I mean, you've been
Oh,
seeing me tag some
great.
people
Yeah,
into it.
yeah.
I'm just like, hey, come and check out this game. But I'm
Well,
really
because
excited for
that's
the
really
release.
how we succeed. That's how we succeed is by people
Right,
sharing it word of mouth. Like that's it. That's how the first 8-bit adventures made any traction at all, was people just sharing it word of mouth. So
right,
so thank
right.
you very much for that.
No, you're very much welcome. You're very much welcome. And I appreciate you giving me the time to be able to talk and even review the game when it does come out. Now, talking
Sure.
about when it's going to come out, what dates do we got? I know I probably posted it a million times, but hearing it from the creator, when is this game going to come out?
Okay, 31st of January. So 31st of January is when the PC version comes out. So that's Steam and GOG, and will also
Hmm.
be on Green Man Gaming.
Okay.
And then later in the year, not specified yet, but later this year definitely, the
Hmm.
console versions will be out. So that's going to be Switch, so Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. That's PS4, PS5. Yeah,
That's gonna be
so
great.
lots of
That's gonna be
platforms.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's actually gonna, like, I was sitting there going, I could play this on my Switch, like, so
yeah,
much.
yeah. I'm really excited to actually play it on Switch myself, because I feel like it's that kind of cozy, like RPGs are just that kind of cozy long form game, which you just sort of want to like lay down with a Switch and play. So
Right.
yeah,
Now, Now, a couple more things. Now, the last thing that I do want to at least address, that way individuals can kind of give you feedback, not negative feedback, but at least if there's any type of issues like that they're
Yeah,
coming
sure.
across, where can they like let you know what is going on? Like if they're having issues like lagging or, dropping frame or whatever that might be, where can they contact
Sure.
you or the team?
So Twitter or Instagram or any generally any social media platform, Critical Games AU is the handle.
Okay.
Because I'm in Australia, so AU. Critical Games was taken by some places when I started, so yeah. Otherwise, you can get me at josh@criticalgames.com.au on email.
Fantastic.
I'm Critical Games AU on the Discord. We have a 8-Bit Adventures 2 Discord, which you can find on my socials. And so, if any troubles arise, then definitely feel free to come in there. And because I obviously see that all the time. And but there's always a way to get in touch with me, one way or another. If someone posts something, I should see it. I should find it.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. That's great. Well, again, one more time, thank you for allowing us to be able to speak. Thank you for at least giving me the time. I mean, I know you're busy.
welcome.
It's coming around the corner.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, no, we've gotten over a lot of the preparation.
Good.
As of about yesterday, so.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Well, all the social media that you just mentioned is going to be listed down below, guys. Don't forget to click on. Yeah, don't forget to click on every single last one of them. Don't forget to follow, and especially the Discord. I've noticed that Discord, you can just post like, "Hey, this is what's going on," and then you'll be able to see it right away, or at least you'll be able to make a notation and let your other buddies know. But
yeah, exactly.
Right, but
it
just know.
Depends, like sometimes I can fix it like really quickly and just get it out there. And then other times, Sufyan's got to investigate and
figure out what's going on. Right,
yeah.
right. Well, you know what? It's been great. I think that's. I'm clearly. I don't want to keep talking because if we keep talking, then we're gonna end up getting into the story, and then we're gonna. I don't want no spoilers. I don't want no spoilers.
No, it's all good, man. I'm really used to keeping a lid on things after all these years. So yeah.
That's good. Well, everybody, come and check out this game. I'm telling you, if you didn't even play the first one, getting into the second one, even when I played the demo, I was hooked. So you don't really need to play the first one, do you?
Yeah.
For those,
no, you don't. No.
Okay. There you go.
I knew that 95% of players of the sequel would not have played the first game, so it's written to try and fill in those gaps and have sort of like characters with fresh perspectives alongside the old veterans. So.
Like, see, they're already planning ahead. Go get the game. Go pre-order. Go do whatever y'all need to do. But other than that, one more time, Josh, it's been amazing speaking with you. And clearly, we'll probably end up be talking more if you ever make another game or if you ever have anything else coming up.
No, it's an absolute pleasure, man. Thank you so much for having me on. It's really great to be here, and I'm always glad to meet a fellow shellhead. So
yeah, same here.
Yep.
But you guys have a fantastic day. Go check out the game. All the links are down below, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more, and y'all be safe. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.